They'll kill me. They'll kill me, pleaded Mr. Floyd as his neck was being crushed into the pavement. According to the New York Times, published July 8, 2020, newly released body cam footage of a Minneapolis officer has him answering back to Mr. Floyd. Stop talking. Stop talking. It takes a lot of oxygen to talk. Since then, protests and riots have ensued following Mr. Floyd's death. And it has promoted a strong message from our fellow Americans: defund the police. Can defunding your police department really improve the safety of yourself and your fellow neighbor? Or will the lack of police degrade your city into chaos? Let's look deeper into this issue, and maybe we can perhaps come away with more understanding. Let us first look at why defunding the police has gained traction in our inner cities. We will look at our current cities that are cutting police. And lastly, we will look at crime and fully funded police and how they correlate with each other. Tragically, our country has experienced many bouts of police violence. According to a Bloomberg article accessed July 2020, here are a list of significant police brutality victims that you might remember: Rodney King, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, and most recently the passing of Mr. George Floyd. But through this brutality, it has brought awareness. The awareness of abuse has enabled the formation of many social justice movements, most notably the Black Lives Matter movement. According to BlackLivesMatters.com, the organization started in 2013 after the Trayvon Martin incident. BLM, in short, advocates to draw attention to fatal police violence as an urgent public health and racial justice problem. Here we have seen the images of pain and suffering of our fellow Americans, and their plea to stop what is undoubtedly unfair treatment and abuse. Let us look at current cities that have cut back their police departments, and if it has improved the safety of their inner residents. Removing police has led to an increase of violence for its citizens. As stated in an article by RedState.com, accessed July 2020, the Atlanta mayor says, and I quote, "We have had 75 shootings in the city over our past several weeks. We can't blame Atlanta PD for that," unquote. She also states, "Police officers are not shooting people in the streets of Atlanta. These are members of the community shooting each other." Since the Floyd incident, Atlanta has experienced a high crime spike, and is actually, the safety of the residents is decreasing. But this defund movement is happening, most notably LA and New York. According to the LA Times, Los Angeles has cut its budget by $150 billion. According to the New York Times, New York is cutting its police department's budget by $1 billion and has already dismantled their plainclothes anti-crime units. Reducing policing is not leading to improved safety. According to local CBS News Los Angeles, published June 2020, LAPD is experiencing a 250% increase in homicides, and victims shot went up 56%. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, accessed July 2020, 79 people were shot, 15 fatally, over the 4th of July weekend. We are witnessing prominent inner city police departments in the midst of significant personnel and budget cuts. Next, let's look at police departments prior to the defund movement and inner city safety. Inner cities experience less crime when having more police involved. According to Pew Research published July 2020, since 1993, violent crime has actually decreased in our country. A big factor of this is due in part with cities increasing their public safety budgets, which includes police departments. Also, another factor is implementing different police tactics. Most notably, a tactic called broken windows. According to Britannica Encyclopedia in 1994, this broken windows tactic was implemented in New York City, which involves more police enforcement of small crimes, because what they found out was that small crimes would later help deter larger crimes in the city. This led to safer inner cities for residents. Today we have looked at our troubling past history of police brutality in our country. We have seen major inner city metropolises throughout our country defund and cut police budgets and personnel. And we have also seen how in the past policing affects our community in a greater light when we have more policing. So let's ask ourselves, will defunding the police improve our safety or degrade our safety in our inner cities? Let's remember the words of Mr. Floyd. They'll kill me. They'll kill me. Those words were haunting. What is also haunting are these words from a mother in Chicago who lost her child due to a stray bullet. She says, "I'm lifeless. He stole my baby from me." With the data presented today, we can perhaps better understand the implications of how police departments, or lack thereof, can have on the safety of our residents in our inner cities.